The former Super Bowl champion winning head coach, Tony Dungy, had this to say about the Baltimore Ravens.
AFC North, Coach.
Well, I'm going to say Baltimore. Cincinnati's got the best schedule, but they're 2 games back. That's a problem right now. Pittsburgh is playing very bad football. That's a problem for them. Baltimore is not playing all that much better, but I think they have a better schedule, and 8-9 might win this division.
Yeah, and I can't trust the Steelers. And I'm looking at A-Rod, his injury history, and you don't know if he's going to be healthy, his wrist, his nose, all these different things going on. I like the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar, they're going to get back to giving Derrick Henry the football. The temperature and the weather's starting to change, so that's going to almost force the offensive coordinator to have to run the ball.
Oh, boy, speaking of running the ball, John Harbaugh was asked about King Henry's usage or lack thereof, specifically in the second quarter on Thanksgiving night.
No, of course not. I mean, that's not the numbers that we want at all, and we want to run the ball. We're a running team, I mean, that's the fact. And we're a throwing team too. We got Lamar Jackson, we got receivers, we got tight ends, we got all that. But we want to always be a team that runs the ball and stops the run. That's been since 2008. It's not going to really probably ever change, and that's really what football is. So, for sure. And when you look at the game, I mean, we went 7 plays down the field and scored. Then we went 3 and out, then we were in 2 minutes. So that explains the lack of carries in the second quarter. We didn't have any plays in the second quarter to have a chance to even run the ball. So then the other part of that is just the number of 2-minute plays in the game was staggering. I mean, we had 21 2-minute plays. That's way too high. And when you have that many I don't mind 2-minute plays at the end of the half. I'm not real fired up about 2-minute plays at the end of the game. That means you're trying to, come back. And so we had 7 or 8 2-minute plays at the end of the half, and we had, 15 or so at the end of the game because we started 2-minute at the 9:38 mark of the fourth quarter. And that explains the play distribution as much as anything. It explains the carries as much as anything. So the circumstance of the game took us in that direction.
Look, I buy it. I do. In the past, I haven't. I buy it, though, not only from that explanation, but some of the key context as we kind of turn back the page a little bit, rewind to Thanksgiving night after a long holiday weekend. Okay, Derrick had 5 first-half carries. That's not what you want when it comes to the King. That's not how his game goes. He gets better as the game goes. He gets better as you continue to force feed him. There's no doubt. But when your offense turns the football over 3 times in one half, a questionable, and I shouldn't even say questionable. Matter of fact, how about we call it as it is? A bullshit OPI on Zay Flowers wipes the touchdown. And then you add in uncharacteristic inaccuracy from Lamar Jackson, which led to at least 3 blatant misses with time and clean pockets. That's the context here. There was a lot of context that was needed as you evaluate what the Ravens did and didn't do on Thursday night. Isaiah likely fumbling at the goal line is context that's required. The Zay Flowers OPI is context that's required. And I'll even go deeper. What about the 2 deep balls to Devontae Walker that I wouldn't characterize as drops, but plays that he wants to make and is absolutely capable of making, and certainly we're not on Lamar, are 2 pieces of context that's required. So I get it. You guys are sitting here, and I'm sure hearing John not buying it, not wanting to buy it, perhaps refusing to buy it because of the past disturbing trends that's come with this, abandoning the run, no bigger, none more harming and harmful than the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs, and I totally get that. But in this case, the circumstances of the game, to use his words, did dictate ultimately the usage or lack thereof when it comes to Derrick Henry. Back to this national conversation. You hear Tony Dungy. You heard what he had to say in terms of who he likes to win the AFC North. And if you haven't yet voted in the poll, let's get an update in live real-time fashion. 55 votes at the moment. How will the Ravens claim this year's AFC North crown? Now, I've got 4 different options in there for you. It looks like, We got a tie. What's going back and forth right now between offensive resurgence and all three phases uniting as one. Right now, we have a deadlocked at 39% between offensive resurgence and all three phases unite. At 11%, respectively, each is the defense continuing to carry the team and by process of elimination, which I know is somewhat of a petty option that I threw in there, but I'm for real. Could it be by process of elimination? Because if things continue in the direction that it appears to be heading, it's going to be a pillow fight when it comes to winning this division. But right now, wow, this is a pretty darn good. Yeah, Dre, I really like a good poll. I do. I like a good poll. That's POLL, by the way, not POLE. Well, let's not even go there. But this is a good little debate being had right now. We got some competition. Make sure you vote. Over 60 votes and counting. Cam Newton, as it relates to the AFC North, here he is.
Unfortunate that we have certain expectations and passes and sweeping this under the rug that we don't have for everybody. All game changers should have the same prerequisite of expectation. Matthew Stafford doesn't have an ideal Matthew Stafford type of game, and then what do we say? Oh, man, that's just a bad game. That was Stephen Anthony's response. Well, for me, has Lamar Jackson been healthy? Who knows? But I don't expect that Lamar Jackson to keep playing the way this Lamar Jackson has been playing the last couple of weeks, okay? Once he figures that out, then the Baltimore Ravens is off. Now, is it ideal? Is it something that we're used to them playing like? No! But to say that they're not a contender? Oh, come on now. We know who Lamar Jackson is. We know what the Baltimore Ravens are. We know who Derrick Henry is. All these, they have the pieces. It's just about performing. And once they decide to perform in unison, playing complementary football in all three phases, then we'll have a very clear-cut dynamic in the AFC North.
I love me some Cam Newton. He's one of the chillest dudes I've ever interacted with, as I did at the Super Bowl last year at one of our podcast parties through Blue Wire at the time. They're our distribution network, and Cam used to work with Blue Wire. And I was hanging out with him in New Orleans in a big group setting. He's just the chillest dude. I can't get with him on this. What makes the Ravens right now a deserving recipient that comes with the label of a contender? Is it the potential of their roster? Is it the potential of what we've seen that this roster can yield? The second half in Miami, the first three quarters in Buffalo, at times here and there. What is it? Because while the potential is always there when you have Lamar Jackson, Lamar finds himself in maybe the most significant rut of his 8-year NFL career. So it's a legitimate question that I have. And the pushback is, what is it about this team right now that finds itself, no doubt, squarely in the mix for an AFC North crown, squarely in the mix to find its way into the postseason? But what about them and their current makeup at 6-6 makes them a bona fide contender? I'm less receptive to what you've done in the past, whether it's Lamar or this team historically, and I'm more receptive to what have you done for me lately. And right now, this is a Ravens offense that has not done a lot for me lately in terms of its operation, in terms of its ball security, in terms of its pass protection, in terms of its red zone efficiency. I could go on and on and on. And so that's where I'm at. I'm going to open up the guest lines here in just a bit. I hope Joseph Cook continues to do what he's doing in the live chat and come and cook face-to-face, baby. Guest lines are open. Waiting room is available. We'll get to that in just a bit. I have the access link pinned in my live chat. But first, I wanted to get some more thoughts from you guys on where you're at in the poll. Over 70 votes now, and a 3% lead is held by all three phases uniting. And that could very well be the reason why the AFC North crown is taken by the Ravens. Offensive resurgence is at 36% in second position. Process of elimination is 13%. And the defense continuing to carry them is at 10%. Let me know where you're at. Over 70 votes and counting. If you could, like the video on your way in, subscribe to the channel, Hit that notification bell. Consider becoming a channel member or a gift-giving membership today. Let me tell you about Preston Automotive Group. I want to say thank you to Preston for the continued support that they give me. One of my longest standing sponsors here inside this channel, and the sole reason why I have a whip and wheels on the road. At Preston, Bobby Baltimore subscribers get access to 2 exclusive offers. The first being a $500 credit towards their new or pre-owned vehicle. Or when you buy 4 tires, you'll get 50% off your alignment. They've got over 2,000 vehicles to choose from. Finding your next ride has never been easier. Scan the QR code that you see in the upper right-hand corner right now. That'll take you to PrestonMotor.com. Again, when you shop with Preston, you're joining a trusted team serving Baltimore and beyond. And when you go ahead and start scrolling on my landing page, it'll bring you down to the available inventory section. There's 3,756 to be exact right now. And you can break it all down by preference: price, vehicle condition, year, make, location, shipping. By the way, they do offer shipping, so you do not need to be in the Maryland or DMV area to work with Preston. If you're looking for specific locations, there you have it on the left-hand side right there: Aberdeen, Denton, Dover, Hurlock, Keller, Millsboro, which is brand new, Pittsville, Randallstown, Preston Ford West, which is my home dealership, Wilmington, Delaware, and there's a slew of other dealerships as well in all of those locations. I want to say continued thanks to Preston Automotive Group for the support. You can follow them on Instagram, by the way, at Preston Automotive Group. I'll drop that in. We're always doing giveaways and different opportunities with them. I dropped that in the live chat just now for you. Go take a look. And if you haven't already done so, drop them a follow if you could.